one minute the kid is, favored very well and maybe the favorite child. And then
Mm,
the child does something nice for the other parent and that makes the narcissist jealous. So now the jealous narcissist is going to, in some way, punish that child for doing that because they're
wow.
trying to groom them to understand you don't do that for that parent, you do that for me.
Right. Oh, wow.
I'm
That is
the,
so
I'm the
scary.
important, yeah, I'm the important parent.
Have you found yourself falling for the same tricks by the narcissist over and over again? We are the Narcissist Asking for a Friend podcast, and my name is Tyler King, and I have my friend Karen Maldonado. We just want to let you know that we are coming from a Christian perspective. We want to be able to help people that are in narcissistic relationships, whether you choose to stay in it or not. It's not a bashing session, but we want to be able to help you to understand what you're going through, to know how to deal with it, and maybe to make a decision in the future for where you want to go and where this leads you in life. Now, Karen, now we're starting off with this podcast. It's something. We have people out there that are falling for the same tricks over and over again. Karen, what is happening? Why are people falling for this over and over? Why do you keep seeing this, especially in your profession? Because remember, you're a therapist, right? And please tell them about what you do and who you are and everything with that as well for our
Right.
new listeners.
Sure. Thank you, Tyler.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I've been working with the loved ones of narcissists for quite a few years. And over the time that I've worked with narcissists and their family members, and actually I work mostly with the family members, although I do counsel couples where the narcissist is
Mm-hmm.
part of that relationship. And so it can be very difficult to, navigate through a relationship like that, whether it's a spouse or a family member, mother, father, sister, brother, whatever the situation is. It's very hard because they don't have good self-awareness. And why would a person continue to
Right.
fall for the
Mm-hmm.
things, you might call them tricks or the
Yeah.
schemes or whatever it is that you want to label it. Um, they can be very enticing, they can be very convincing.
Mm-hmm.
So, one of the things that a narcissist will do if they've injured you or if they've been doing abuse, but they realize that, oh, he or she is finally getting sick of it, I better back it
Right.
up. Then they know how to like show their best side again. That's actually how they win over somebody in a romantic relationship. They know how to show their best side.
But it is a mental illness to a degree, right? So
Oh,
you're
it
saying
is.
even with this mental illness, they still know what they're doing and they have control of their thoughts and how they're treating people, right? So just to make sure.
Yes, they do know what they're doing. They know how to behave correctly.
Mm.
They do not have very good self-awareness though, so it's kind of a tricky situation. They
Ah.
they know right from wrong because they know how to do the right thing when it benefits them,
Mm.
but they
That
also don't see it as wrong when they are manipulating somebody. So it's a tricky situation. So with a situation where now the person's getting smart to the schemes, is tired of it, starting to put their foot down about it. I no longer want to be this person's victim.
right.
Speak up for themselves, or even they may leave the relationship for a season. And now
Mm-hmm.
that may throw the narcissist into a panic mode. I need to get this
Mm.
person back in my life. I thought they were going to put up with everything. I'm going to have to show them that I've changed, or I'm going to have to show them that they misunderstood me. Something. So they're going to
Ah.
throw out some hoovering. So it's well, first love bombing. So it's all the things that
Yes.
they did in the beginning to win you over. They're going to try doing that again. And so in
Oh,
a couple relationship, the love bombing may be a phone call. It's just, I really miss you. I really love you. And oftentimes the person that's been the victim really loves that person, is just so
right.
tired of the hurting that's going on. And so now
Mm-hmm.
all these things that they've wanted to hear for so long from the person that's been abusing them, they're starting to
Mm.
hear it. And the narcissist knows that that's what the victim needs to hear in order to soften them. And so they begin to soften and they begin to be like, oh, maybe they really mean it. Maybe they're really gonna change. Maybe I can come back. Okay, I'll move back in. We'll give it a try, right? So they move back in, and maybe for a few days or a week, usually it's not much longer than that. Um, they will see some positive change, but now that person's starting to feel a little bit comfortable about the way it's being, and now they begin to be that person that they've been all along. And so then
Wow.
the abused person is tired of it, and so it's a cycle. It can, the hoovering, it could be a dance, it could be this love
Yeah.
bombing that goes on, it can be a dance. And so
Wow.
and the only person that can stop the dance from happening really is the person that is being abused.
And that's so, interesting that you say that, because I've even found myself, and I'm sure so many listeners as well, you find yourself in a situation, you're with someone, you separate, whether they move out or you move out, and you don't really realize that the person's just playing. It's pretty much they're acting. It's just a game to kind of, a form of manipulation, really, to get you back in, lower your guard, and basically, allow them back in. But then the danger with that is that, like you said, not long after, they will return back. So I want you to, listeners, now make sure if there's someone that going through this, make sure you share this with them, and let them know, because we're trying to bring awareness to this, that they will go back to the way how they were acting before. It doesn't take long, like you said, a week, right? At most, you've seen with your clients, it's taken not even a week, and they're already back. Now you've already moved stuff, you've already canceled leases or whatever it is you did, so you're almost trapped.
Right,
So I mean, what happens?
right, you're invested back in that person. And once they
Yeah,
see that you've invested back into them,
right.
kind of know they have their claws on you again. And it's going to take a lot of work for you to get free again.
To undo all of the things you tied yourself back into again, whether it be buying a house together or whatever, going into a home together. So there's a lot to that.
Yeah.
So this is the thing. So Karen, is there a way to really know? I guess if the person's a true narcissist, they never really will change, right? So that's, I just want to make sure that's clear.
Yeah, right. They're not going. Are there therapists that work with narcissists and have some success? Yes, there are. It
Okay.
definitely has to be a narcissist that probably doesn't hit on all the criteria to get the diagnosis. There's got to be
Right.
something about that person that's different from most narcissists, because most
Mhm.
do not think they are the problem, so they do
Right.
not go for therapy. So if you can get
Mm.
somebody to actually go for therapy,
Right.
then that person has to have some level of self-awareness to make it possible for that to even happen. So
Wow.
there is a small population of narcissists that may gain some positive change in their life for their loved ones to enjoy. But it's not
Right.
a common thing.
Now, we mentioned the love bombing in a romantic relationship, right? When you have a partner. But can the same thing happen if it's a parent-child relationship? So, like, let's say if they're going through a divorce, a separation, or a custody battle, isn't there something to that effect where they can love bomb a child or the children to gain favor or to get them on their side? Now, have you seen that, or is that something that is common, especially
Uh-huh.
with narcissists?
I have seen it quite often. You probably have too. I mean, I know you
Oh
have
yes,
people that you're working with and friends with that
yeah.
probably have also experienced that love bombing. And it's a triangulation type of a thing that they're doing. They're trying to alienate one of the other parent from the children.
Mm.
So they'll do things. They'll give gifts, they'll give money, they'll give them whatever they want to show that I'm the better parent. He or she
Right.
can give you what I'm giving you. And so you're better off staying with me. You're better off choosing me over that one. because
Wow.
that one is not going to be able to do for you what you
Mhm.
want them to do for to do for you. So and of course a kid is a kid, right? Kids are going to make choices. If one parent says, you have to have a bedtime, you can't be on,
Mhm.
you know, technology more than 2 hours a day. If that's
Right.
the bad guy parent, well, the kid's going to
Right.
want to pick the good guy parent. So if the good guy parent is a
Mhm.
narcissist, then the kid's going to want to go to the narcissist because that one is giving them what they want.
Wow. And that's really called parental alienation. I mean, that's what it sounds like in a
It is.
nutshell.
It,
You're really trying to sever that bond between the parent and the child, where that child has that loving relationship, using the love bombing tactic,
absolutely.
whether it be through gifts. I'm going to take you on different trips, or I'm going to let you stay up past your bedtime. Oh, if you don't want to go to school, you can just stay home, kind of thing. Being the easygoing, laid back parent that they get everything they want from, and then making the other parent look like, oh, they have all these rules, they have all these things, that they're not the fun parent. And can it go as far as the narcissist, the child maybe even acting in the same way like the narcissist does toward that parent? Have you seen that?
Yes, because what often will happen is the kids are smart. If they see that they gain more approval from the narcissistic parent by mistreating that parent,
Yes,
they
yes.
will do it more often because they gain something. So that narcissistic parent will then, they won't maybe come out and say, well, I'm so proud of you for siding with me over my, because they don't want to let anybody know that that's really what they're trying to do. But what
Right.
they do is, you really handled yourself like an adult, and I'm just proud of you. And I know your favorite thing is to go for ice cream. I just want you to know how much I love you. Let's just go for ice cream. So it's just kind of like a bribery, a
Yes.
way of getting this. So now, okay, so that's really great. My dad just took me for ice cream, or my mom just took me for ice cream. And all I had to do was kind of show a little disrespect toward the other parent and show that I was siding with they don't know,
Right.
they're just kids, right? So they're siding
Mhm.
with that parent, and that works out in my favor. Okay. So
Yeah.
there's all of these things going on, and they're trying to outsmart the other parent by using the kid.
Wow. And that just really goes to show how dangerous that narcissistic characteristic, and those tendencies, when people are acting in those behaviors, how that could even be honestly abusive, not only emotionally abusive towards that targeted parent, but also child abuse to that child, because it's a form of emotional abuse, manipulation, and all those things that you're messing with the child's mind,
It's a
which
mind,
narcissists do that.
it's
They're good
actually
at that.
it's mind control.
Mind control, yes. Wow. Brainwashing, however you want to look at it, right? So, you
Absolutely.
know, yeah. So, what are some other things that you've seen that happens in those narcissistic relationship dynamics that maybe our listeners, that they just like, well, wow, this, I'm learning so much. What are some other things that you've seen happen?
Something that maybe is not as popular as the gaslighting or the love bombing or even the hoovering. Hoovering, by the way, is basically like a Hoover vacuum cleaner, hoovering the person back in, sucking them
Right.
back in. So, and how do they do that? They do that with love bombing, right? So there's a
Yes.
so, but this splitting is another tactic that they have, and
Okay.
so splitting is basically, or it really describes something that happens to the narcissist. So, okay, so if you have a situation where the narcissist is really, really happy with you, for some reason you've done
Right.
everything for them the way that they would want it, they couldn't find anything to complain about. You've made their day and you've made the image that they're trying to produce for themselves
Right.
look great. They're out with you, maybe you're going to a wedding and you're with a bunch of people, you both look great, you were able to drive up in a fancy car.
Mm.
He or she is just feeling like they're really filling this role. People are admiring them and they're like, oh,
Right.
such a cool, such a power couple, or whatever
Like a Hollywood looking type
yeah,
of
the
situation.
Hollywood looking couple. Yeah. So that kind of being in that kind of a spotlight that makes the narcissist feel really happy. So in those moments, because now it's the image, right? They are looking lovey-dovey with their person, right? They're, maybe even some hand holding, things that they won't do when they're alone in the house together. But right now, in front of, it could go either way though, too. Some people
Right.
will withhold the PDAs when they're in
Right.
public because they don't want anyone to think that they're too, it depends on what's going on in the mind of the narcissist. So
Ah.
this situation though, the narcissist is acting very much in love and probably feels very much in love because they're in that moment where everything about them looks great and everybody believes it, right?
Right.
So now they're home. The narcissist is having some types of behaviors at the house that nobody else sees, but the spouse
Mhm.
does. They're cranky, they're judgmental, they're sloppy, maybe
Right.
expecting the victim to do everything for them, kind of thing. And so then maybe the victim now says something about it. This is just, a short time later after this
Right.
time at the wedding, right? And
Right.
and now they're having this conversation about what is displeasing to the victim, this, and this. And of course, criticism is not something, or even a complaint is not something that a narcissist takes well to. So
Right.
they will say, this person that was so lovey-dovey can all of a sudden
Uh-huh.
become wretched and evil and say
Right.
things come out of their mouths that are like, what? This is the same person that was just like making me feel like I was Cinderella or making me feel like I was Prince Charming, and now look how I.
Right.
So it's
Wow.
splitting. It's almost like the person has a split personality, right? They're one way one day and then they're one way another. And actually that split can happen within 24 hours. It does not have to be a separate day.
Wow.
You act like they act like you are their best person in life, and then you are, and 2 hours later you could be their worst person in life.
The
So
worst person. Wow.
yeah, so it's just, yeah, splitting is an interesting thing. And so and that can be something that they do even with their children.
Wow.
Their
Oh my
children,
goodness.
1 minute the kid is, favored very well and maybe the favorite child, and then
Mm.
the child does something nice for the other parent and that makes the narcissist jealous. So now the jealous narcissist is going to in some way punish that child for doing that because
Wow.
trying to groom them to understand, you don't do that for that parent, you do that for me.
Right. Oh, wow. That
I'm
is so scary.
Yeah, I'm the important parent here. So and okay, so what we're talking about on this podcast are
Yes.
specific situations that may not run through every narcissistic relationship or narcissistic.
Exactly.
So these are things, though, that do happen. And we've said it before also that there are many flavors to narcissism. So,
Yeah.
but if you have dealt with this kind of thing yourself, then hearing about it may be helpful for you because then now you know you are not the only one that deals with it.
Yes. And that's so important, Karen. We always want to make sure our listeners know you are not the only one. We are here. We're trying to spread awareness. We're trying to give you healing, help you on that healing journey or path. And just to, whether you choose to stay or go, but we just want you to be in the best position possible for your own mental and emotional health. And we're definitely, I'm so glad we had this talk today. I'm sure you can definitely see the value. If there is someone that you know that is in need or in help, or they need to have some type of some type of information, please share this podcast with them. It doesn't cost you anything to share it. Remember to like, share, subscribe for our podcast, YouTube, and we are always going to be here. And just remember, this is Karen and Tyler, and we are narcissists asking for a friend. All right. And we look forward to seeing you on the next one.
Yes.
All
Bye,
right.
everybody.
Bye-bye. Bye.